in by the Rangers. Low drive. That's blocked by Slavin. Chance out in front. Look at the score. The puck bounces to Vincent Trocheck. And Trocheck ends this one on the power play. Rangers win game 2, 4-3.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Canes Corner podcast. I'm Adam Gold, and we are here about an hour and a half later than I thought we would be. But here we are, and it's not happy times. We're going to put the brightest face on it possible because just as I used prior to Game 3 in the opening round series, a playoff series doesn't begin until the home team loses a game. And the home team hasn't lost a game yet. So could that have been a Hurricanes win tonight? Yep. Should it have been a Hurricanes win tonight? Should have. Could have. Yes. Should have. No, because it wasn't. And the Hurricanes are probably their own worst enemy. And I say that knowing how poor the officiating was tonight. But that isn't why the Hurricanes lost. It was a contributing factor to putting the Hurricanes in position to hurt themselves, but it's not why the Hurricanes lost. We're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it's for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Hannon and his crew do a great job. You should check them out for all your exterior home improvement needs. Wherever you are, wherever you're taking this in, if you are among our friends down under, whether you're in Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Australia, hey, thank you very much. If you're in Alaska, if you're in Hawaii, if you're in Dublin, Ireland, good morning. If you're in Finland, thank you very much for spending the time. We're going to get to the positives, but I'm going to start this with a broad brush of games 1 and 2. Because the Hurricanes won't win a game in this series unless the following 3 things change. I'm not trying to be overdramatic, but these 3 things must change for the Hurricanes to win a game in this series. We said going in, the Hurricanes could not lose special teams, getting crushed in special teams. 4 power play goals, 0, and Carolina has scored none. The Rangers have 4 power plays, 4 power play goals in 11 tries. The Hurricanes are 0 for 10. Regardless of what, these are the numbers so far. If we want to take some power plays off the board, fine. It actually makes the Rangers' numbers worse for Carolina. So let's just use the numbers as they are. 4 out of 11, 0 for 10. That's number 1. Number 2, goaltending. The more I look at it, it's hard to really blame Frederik Andersen for the game-winning goal on Vincent Trocheck. If I was going to blame Freddie, I don't even blame him on the first goal, the Lafreniere goal. He never sees. Ever sees. The Kreider power play goal that ties it. We're going to get to part 3 of what I wanted to get to. Again, good save. Puck's sort of under him, but not under him. And the Hurricanes, he can't locate it, so he can't seal it against his body. We've seen this before. It happened against the Islanders. Actually happened against the Rangers in game 1, too. So these are, it's hard to blame him for that one. Here's my blame for the go-ahead goal, the game-winning goal. Freddie gets himself out of position by trying to glove the puck. So now he's upright, and the puck on the ice in front of him, he's kind of helpless. It's a goal that the guy at the other end of the ice is not allowing. So, part 1, special teams, big win for the Rangers. Huge, decisive. 2, goaltending. Shesterkin has been at another level than Freddie Andersen can get to. 2. And the Hurricanes have lost both games. Remember, the goalie allowed to Artemi Panarin to make it 4-2. Right? So you're down 1, you're down. The Rangers have done a much better job of boxing out in front of their goal. If you notice, Carolina can't get to that puck when Shesterkin has allowed some juicy rebounds, and he has so far through 2 games. The Hurricanes are not getting to that puck. The Rangers, Kreider's goal tonight, Slavin can't box him out. Now he's behind the play a little bit because, again, it's a scramble situation. It's a power play. But Slavin is behind the play, can't get to the box out. We've seen it before. We saw it with Brett Pesce in the first round, with Anders Lee. This has happened throughout the playoffs. Carolina has not been good against the Rangers. They have not been good boxing out, and the Rangers have been excellent at it. And honestly, in a way, that's kind of what happens on the Trocheck goal. There's nobody clearing him out. Again, it's a power play, hard to do it. But Carolina is not being able to get in there. The couple of times they have been able to get close to the net, they've been able to score. They've been able to impact the play. But Carolina has to do a better job, especially on the power play, of getting inside. The power play tonight was awful. Not just because it went 0 for 5, but because it was stale. It did nothing. All right. So those 3 areas. If those 3 areas do not improve, the Hurricanes will get swept in this series. I believe they can and they will improve. So I still believe that we're going to be here a long time. I thought today was super encouraging about the way Carolina can look when it plays well, when it does what it's supposed to do. The problem was that, and we talk about this a lot, the Hurricanes didn't get enough out of those moments. Set it in the middle of the second period, or actually it wasn't quite the middle because it was right before the Lafreniere goal made it 2-2. The first 8 minutes of the second period were dynamite Hurricanes hockey. I put it on Twitter. You can follow me at AGoldFan. And I said it. Boy, this period has looked very much like Carolina Hurricanes hockey. Better get the next goal to make it worth it, because if the Rangers score the next goal, it's going to leave us all with an empty feeling. I just embellished the tweet, but that was the overall sentiment. Lafreniere scores on the rush after Carolina is pushing for another goal and gets out of balance, and only Aho and Burns are back. Aho actually did a good job denying the initial opportunity, but Slavin, Svechnikov, Guentzel, late coming back, couldn't get there. Actually, might not have been Guentzel, might have been Teravainen on the ice at that point. But nobody could get back, so the Rangers ended up with like a Carolina basketball secondary break, and all of a sudden, it's a pass right in front, Adam Fox to Lafreniere for an easy tap-in goal. That makes it 2-2. Carolina still got the lead back right at the end of the period. Sebastian Aho, who played great tonight, got it to Jake Guentzel in front, 3-2 going to the third, and then 3 power plays allowed in the third period. You stop 2 of them. You deny him twice, but you didn't deny Chris Kreider. And the Kreider goal gets to what we were talking about before, that the Rangers have been able to get inside Carolina on the power play, where it's the opposite for Carolina. Look at the reason why the Rangers power play is so devastating is exactly why Carolina's power play is struggling. Everything from Carolina is to the perimeter. They're trying to get the pass into the bumper. That's not been available. And it almost doesn't look like Carolina's got a plan B. But the truth is that they do. They're just not moving the puck fast enough. It's got to be quicker. Everything they're doing, it's too slow, too slow. It must be quicker. You can get away with doing what they're doing if you move the puck faster. Sometimes that's bodies. I talked to Tony DeAngelo before the playoffs, and I asked him, what would you like to see the team do better? And he said, low to high. What we don't see a lot of right now for Carolina, we did see that when Vincent Trocheck was here, is a pass below the goal line out in front. Get somebody behind the net and get somebody into the bumper, right? And drag another defender down. Do that. Let's see some more of that. Now, I do believe that they will work on this. They'll come back. They will not practice tomorrow. My guess is there will be a morning skate on Thursday because I don't think they'll practice tomorrow. And honestly, they might not skate on Thursday either. They haven't done a morning skate before any playoff game, but it might be time to change up a little mojo. So we talked about the 3 areas where Carolina has been decisively beaten by the Rangers through 2 games and how Carolina can maybe address some of these things on the power play. All right. I want to get to a couple of things here before the fire department shuts us down. Let me give you something good about tonight because we deserve something good because the Hurricanes played well tonight. I thought the Hurricanes were okay in game 1, not as good as the Rangers, a deserved winner. I thought the Hurricanes were good tonight. I thought the Hurricanes were better than the Rangers tonight. I thought they deserved a better fate in this game. Didn't happen because of part 1 of the 3 things the Rangers are destroying. If Carolina gets 1 power play goal, they win the game. 1. We're not asking a lot. 1 power play goal, you win the game. And the Hurricanes are now 0 for 10 in the series. Jordan Staal played a monster game. He was great tonight. He had 9 scoring chances. He had 7 high dangers, according to naturalstattrick.com. He was all over this game. Unfortunately, he couldn't get one to go. I mean, that's sort of typical for Jordan Staal, right? Sort of typical. I thought the top line, Guentzel, Aho, Svechnikov were great. I thought Andre's penalty on when he took out Igor Shesterkin, which is a penalty all day long. It's a penalty. I got no problem with it. Do I think Andre did it intentionally? No. Do I think Igor Shesterkin leaped into the air and spun himself like a top, like a Duncan yo-yo? Oh, that's exactly what that is. You can walk the dog with Igor Shesterkin. He basically spun himself in the air. But there was a penalty on Svechnikov. I'm not arguing that call at all. But when Andre came out of the box after Carolina did kill that power play, when Andre came out of the box, he was like a different player. And his hard work created the play that Aho shot and Guentzel deflected for the goal that made it 1-1. So, and I thought from that point on, I thought Andre was great. I thought the penalty that they called him for with Adam Fox was a joke. But I thought Andre was very good tonight. The kind of Andre you want to see because he was a real power forward. He was not. He also deserved maybe a little bit of a better fate offensively in terms of chances. But he's going to have to hunt his shot just a little bit more. We need some more of that. We need Andre to hunt his shot a little bit more. And I'm not saying that the shot totals for Andre weren't enough. Let's get the shot total for Andrei Svechnikov. He had, he needs to be more. 2 shots on goal at 5-on-5 and 2 shots total. There were no power play opportunities for Andre. That was the real big glaring miss, was that Andre wasn't a positive part of Carolina's power play. They need that. They absolutely desperately need Andre to be more dangerous on the power play. But Carolina wasn't dangerous on the power play tonight. But I did love the top line. I thought the Drury line was very good. I kind of liked Martin Necas for the most part tonight. I thought he did a bunch of good things. But the problem is that all the bunch of good things that the Hurricanes didn't translate to enough scoring. They need more. It's not that you need more than 3. They need a power play goal, and then when they are leaning on it, I'll just go back to the second period. It was so good in the first 8 minutes. It was kind of disappointing that didn't generate any goals. One would have been fine, but it generated none. And then the Rangers get their first chance of the period. Boom. It's behind Andersen. Not his fault. So it's these moments that Carolina right now is losing that has them behind in the series, 2-0. Even strength, Carolina was the better team tonight. Just not playing enough even strength hockey to make it all work. Even strength, Carolina was very good tonight. All right, I'm not going to ignore the fact that Carolina, I thought, got the short end of it from the officials tonight. I want to go through a couple, but I want to say it up front, not why they lost. But we can all recognize what happened, okay? Not why they lost. I will not blame it for the loss. Does it make it more difficult? Yes. But ultimately, the Hurricanes have themselves to blame. And I'll just start with the third period. 3 penalties, all penalties, not really bothered by any of them. I'm trying to remember now the first penalty of the third period, which might have been a little soft. Trying to remember which one it was now. There have been so many. Let me go and retrieve that first power play of the third. The Orlov on Will Cooley. Very, very soft penalty, but I guess it's callable. And when you are behind in the game in the third period, you are more likely to get that call. So let's just say that. All right. So it was callable to the point where the scoreboard might have dictated that it was called. You got to kill it. You didn't. Martinook tripping on Gustafsson. That's a trip. Skjei tripping on Wenberg before the end of the third period. That's a trip. Can't complain about it. But the Hurricanes killed off those 2 power plays. So, see, it's possible. They killed off power plays in the first period too. See, it's possible. It was that Orlov one they couldn't get past. That was the first one of the third period. But let's just emphasize what I said here. If you know that the Rangers power play right now is the number 1 difference in this series, then those right there, those are discipline problems. Not like you've lost your mind. You are responsible for your stick. You can't take those penalties. Hurricanes, the Orlov trip wasn't with the stick. I think it was with a foot. Skate. But tripping. I mean, it's just incredible. All right. Earlier, Adam Fox. What do we say about Adam Fox? Yeah. I know that there are people that harbor ill will, ill feelings about manipulating what the Hurricanes could do. He wouldn't sign here. Always wanted to play with the Rangers. Didn't want to sign here, so he wasn't going to. Maybe the Hurricanes should have just left him in Harvard. They did get 2 second-round picks for him. So you did get something for him. And I know Tripp knows him fairly well. Yeah, there's a Harvard connection. They have spent some time together. Says Adam Fox is a great guy, and I'm not saying that he's not. But what I am saying is that he is a flopper. And he is a flopper first class. I mean, 5-star general flopper. Flopped in game 1, and he flopped twice tonight in game 2. He flopped in off the face-off when Svechnikov and Fox bumped. There's no trip there. Did their legs bump into each other? Yes. Is it a trip? Never. But 2 seconds into the power play, it's over. Svechnikov goes to the box. Fox probably goes back to the bench and laughs. And the ESPN crew is like, undisciplined, just like yesterday. Hey, look, I thought, or rather Sunday, I thought the penalty that Svechnikov was called for Sunday with 40 seconds to go when Carolina was in a 6-on-4, I thought that was the right call. I thought it was a clear trip. Stick right between the legs. Boom. Easy. Done. Bye. See ya. Penalty box. Tonight? Nope. Not a trip. Not a trip. But they called it. That's one, Adam Fox, because he goes right to the ice. He hurls himself to the ice. And then, and maybe the most Adam Floppy McFox flop ever was the, I'm fanning out here, but it was egregious. Carolina's on the power play, whistle. Adam Fox throws a little punch. Jake Guentzel. Jake Guentzel throws a punch back. Fox, hurls himself. Nolan Ryan fastball to the ice. Face down. Unbelievable. Maybe out cold. Maybe unconscious. Maybe broken jaw. I don't know. Hand goes up in the air. Guentzel's off. Hurricanes power play canceled. Are you kidding me? Referee, linesman right there, and you fall for that crap. But there's nothing you can do about it. Because if they're going to call it, all you can do is kill the penalties. And 5 times tonight, 4. Because you don't count the 2-second power play. 4 times tonight, the Hurricanes killed off whatever part of a Rangers power play there was. But you gave him 6. The call on Brady Skjei in overtime was soft, but it was a penalty. Trocheck skating away from the net. It's non-threatening. It's not vicious. But it's a cross-check. Lower back. Knocks him off his skates. Trocheck probably helped that. But either way, it's a penalty. It's not one you would normally see in overtime, but I'm not going to sit here and scream that. How do you call that in that situation? But they certainly did not put the whistles away in overtime. And the Hurricanes got 2 power plays. One in the first overtime, one in the second overtime. And they didn't score on them. So what are you going to do? You had your chances, didn't take them. We'll put it in soccer parlance. You had your chances. You didn't take your chances. You were not clinical enough in front of goal. And you allowed too many high-quality opportunities from close to your net. And that's why the Hurricanes lost the game. They didn't lose because of officiating. They lost because of them. And the Hurricanes are going to have to get better, as I said, in those 3 areas. Power play and penalty kills, special teams, goaltending, and the box out in front. Because if you're better on the power play, first of all, I asked Rod Brindamore if he had to change anything structurally, and I think the answer was no. Actually, no, he said we might have to make some adjustments. They have to make a major adjustment to the way they're killing penalties right now. Because both power play goals, if you watch, they got players all over the ice. And maybe it's because of the way the Rangers move that the Hurricanes are that way. But if you watch Carolina's power play, everybody from the Rangers, they're in a box. So Carolina's going to have to be better, much better, on the penalty kill. Otherwise, we got 2 more games to play. Because their power play will score. Will. Not probably. Will. Especially if you give them 7 chances in a game. 7. 2 for 7. Ranger power play took a hit in terms of percentages tonight. Just 28.6%. That's far worse than the 45% they were coming in. The other thing I want to get to is two personnel decisions today, and then we'll wrap it up, and I'll be fast. Max Comtois comes in for Evgeny Kuznetsov, and he played like 6.5 minutes. He was, wasn't great. They probably needed to get the puck out. There was a sequence where they needed to get the puck out. I think it was on the Lafreniere goal. I'm not even sure anymore at this point. It might have been the first goal. Forget. Anyway, he's a 4A player. He's really an AHL player that plays with some tenacity, some physicality. I didn't really notice that tonight. I noticed more physicality from Seth Jarvis and Sebastian Aho, who had 3 hits tonight or so. I think they only credited Jarvis with 3. I counted 3 in the third period alone. I have a hard time believing those were his only hits. But he comes in for Evgeny Kuznetsov. And as far as I know, it was a healthy scratch. So I think Rod recognized that tonight might be a little bit more of a physical game. I don't think it was as physical as the first game. Much like the first game, I thought a lot of the physicality and extra stuff was early and then not much late. It became more skating, which should favor Carolina, but it didn't. So I didn't have a problem with bringing Comtois in, and I'm not going to look into it that, Kuznetsov's been disappointing. I think Rod always recognized that he was likely going to shorten his bench. I initially thought that Comtois would come in for Kotkaniemi and play the wing with Kuznetsov and Nason. But Rod essentially treated that line like a traditional fourth line. In other words, you're not getting a lot of time. Combined, I think those guys played, 16 minutes? Maybe a little bit more, maybe 18 minutes combined. So I think Rod realized there wasn't going to be a lot of ice time. And I think what Rod was looking for was just another body who plays a physical game just in case it kind of escalated. There was another option out there beyond, Jack Drury. Frankly, I was a little surprised we didn't see Brendan Lemieux draw in. So that'll be an interesting question for Rod. And that, again, will have to be kind of a quiet, off-the-record moment to see if he'll divulge why he went Comtois over Brendan Lemieux in a situation that really called for either one, because you were looking for that kind of a presence. But I fully expect Kuznetsov to draw back into the lineup on Thursday and take his place on that line with Kotkaniemi and Nason. And I expect that line to be better than it was tonight. Of course, no Kuznetsov, but I didn't think that line was all that good. Kotkaniemi got a couple of shifts here and there. Third period, first overtime, second overtime, but not a lot. They did not play a lot at all. So there's that. And because I go back to part 2 of the 3 reasons why the Hurricanes are trailing 0-2 in the series, I wonder if Freddie isn't just a little worn out. Again, you run the risk of blaming somebody who's not blamable. The Panarin goal can't go in game 1, right? But that's not why they lost the game, because they never tied the game. So I'm squeamish about blaming Freddie. We know he should have had it. The double overtime winner, it's not a bad goal. But given the circumstance, the situation, how well you played, I think it's one you got to get from your goaltender. Now, does that mean that the Hurricanes would be better off / should start Pyotr Kochetkov in game 3? It doesn't. Just doesn't. And the further we go, the more unlikely it is that Kochetkov gives you a better chance than Andersen at this point. When was Kochetkov's last game of the regular season? Was it the game in Chicago? Where did they go? They ended in Columbus. They went through Boston, St. Louis, Chicago, right? Was that the last one? So it's just been a long time since he's played. It's been 3 weeks since he's played. It's kind of hard to say, hey, kid, go get him. I'm not saying it's a wrong move. I'm just saying it's not the slam dunk everybody wants to think it is. There's a lot of things to consider. So is a Kochetkov that hasn't played in 3 weeks better than Andersen, who played tonight? I do think it's a legitimate conversation, and I do think that it bears, honestly, real thought. But I don't know the answer to whether or not it gives you a better chance or not. I'm more inclined to say Freddie gives you the better chance. But he should have stopped the Panarin shot in game 1. And I feel like the Trocheck goal really can't go in. And it just got through him. So, tough spot for the Hurricanes decision makers. But that's why they get paid to make the decisions. And I trust the guy who makes them. So we'll see everybody for Thursday night's game 7. I'm sorry, game 3. I'm way ahead of myself, aren't I? By the way, Thursday night would be a game 6. Next Thursday night would be a game 6 at PNC Arena. And I'm here to tell you we're going to have that game 6 at PNC Arena. The Hurricanes' mission now is to turn those categories. They don't have to be turned into wins, people. I am not asking Carolina's power play to outplay the Rangers' power play. I'm not asking for Freddie Andersen to outplay Igor Shesterkin. I'm not asking Carolina to suddenly become a bunch of bruisers in front of their own net. I am simply asking for those 3 categories to break even. I don't think that's a big ask. We're brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. If it's for the exterior of your home, you can find it at the Aluminum Company of North Carolina on Hamlin Road in Durham. No place like it. Sammy Hanna and his crew do a great job. Tough one to swallow tonight because the Hurricanes, I think, were better than the Rangers, certainly at 5-on-5, and had the Rangers scrambling. Just couldn't make enough out of it. So until Thursday, subscribe, like, rate, review, comment, let us know. Hit me up on Twitter at @AGoldFan, and we'll see you Thursday after the Hurricanes get on the board in this series from PNC Arena. I am Adam Gold. We'll see you next time on the Canes Corner podcast. Thank you.